Good morning everyone. In the today's class we are going to discuss regarding the common diseases in humans. So as I have said in the previous class, disease means when one of our organs or many organs or the systems of our body are adversely affected and they are characterized by certain signs and symptoms. So then we are going to call it as a disease or a unhealthy. So in humans, the diseases are usually caused by the organisms, and these organisms which are going to cause the disease, they are usually called as the pathogens. So the disease causing organisms are called as pathogens. Disease causing organisms. Pathogens means the disease causing organisms are called as pathogens. So what are the common pathogens that are going to cause the disease in the humans? So those are fungi, bacteria, viruses, helminths, protozoans, and even the parasites, etc. So these are usually called as the pathogens, right? Fungi, bacteria, viruses, helminths, protozoans, parasites, etc. So they are usually called as the pathogens. So why they are called as pathogens means, so these organisms are going to cause the disease in case of the humans. So the disease causing organisms are usually termed as a pathogens. So what is pathogens are going to do to our body? So these pathogens, first they are going to enter into our body through the various means, right? So either it might be to the contaminated food, contaminated water, by inhaling the droplets, etc. Right? So through various means these pathogens are going to enter into our body. So once they enter in our body, so they'll start multiplying, right? So they are going to increase in their numbers. So once they are going to increase in their numbers, so they are going to interfere in the natural as well as the vital activities of our body. Means they are going to disturb our normal functions as well as the vital, that is the important functions of our body. So this disturbance or the interference of these pathogens in our body, so that is going to cause the functional and morphological damage to our body, right? So the pathogens are going to enter into our body, so they are going to multiply, so then they are going to interfere with our normal and vital functions, and then they are going to result in the functional and morphological damage. So these pathogens, so they have to adapt, means they have to adapt their life within the environment of the host. So host means in which they are going to survive. Means these pathogens, they are going to depend on the other organisms or they are going to survive in the body of the other organisms. So in which body they are going to survive, they are usually called as a host. So for that reason, these pathogens, they have to adapt to the environment within the host body. For example, if you take the bacteria or the pathogens that are going to survive in the intestine, in the human intestine, that is a gut. So whenever these pathogens enter into the gut of the human beings, so they should have the capacity to survive the low pH that is present in our stomach. Along with that, they should also have a resisting capacity of the various digestive enzymes, right? So the pathogens, they should have the adaptation within the environment of the host body so that they can survive and they can cause the damage to the host body, right? So in this class, we are going to study regarding the different pathogenic organisms, means various different members of the pathogenic organisms one by one. So usually we are going to study regarding the 8 common diseases that are caused in the human beings due to these pathogens. But in today's class, we are going to discuss only 3, that is the 2 bacterial diseases and 1 viral diseases, right? So coming to the bacterial diseases, firstly we will study regarding the bacterial diseases. So among them, the first one is the typhoid. Right. So typhoid is a very common bacterial diseases. So So what is the main pathogen or the causative agent for this typhoid? That is causative agent. So the typhoid is caused by a bacteria which is called as a Salmonella typhi. So as it is a scientific name, we have to underline them separately, right? So typhoid is caused by a pathogen, that is a bacteria named as a Salmonella typhi. So in our body, which is the main organ that is going to infect. So that is the infected organ. So this Salmonella typhi is going to mainly infect a small intestine. So it is going to mainly infect a small intestine. So then once this pathogen enters into a small intestine and then it gets multiplied and then it gets affected. So what are the various symptoms it is going to show? So what are the symptoms of typhoid? So usually the person who is having a typhoid, so he is going to suffer from the high fever. So this high fever is going to range from 39 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, right? So the symptoms are high fever, mainly the high fever, then weakness, headache, stomach pain, constipation, and loss of appetite. Right? So typhoid is caused by a agent, causative agent, that is Salmonella typhi, that is a bacteria. So it is going to infect the organ, that is small intestine. What are the various symptoms? Means what are the symptoms or the signs that are shown by the person who is suffering from the typhoid? So the first thing is that the person will be having the high fever, that is from 39 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. So usually the person who is suffering from typhoid, so he is going to have a weakness, right? Then headache, stomach pain, constipation, means that is the problems during or passing the bowel movements, right? There are no easy bowel movements, so that is called as a constipation, right? So then loss of appetite, means they are not going to feel the hungriness. So these are the various symptoms that are caused for the person who is suffering from the typhoid. So other than this, what can, in the severe cases, what happens means, in the severe cases it may lead to the intestinal perforations. So that may lead to death. So in severe cases, means whenever this typhoid is means it is not under the control, so that is going to lead to the intestinal perforation, and this intestinal perforation may lead to the death. So this is regarding the typhoid. So now what is the mode of transmission? So mode of transmission means how this typhoid is transmitted. So this typhoid is transmitted through contaminated food and water. Contaminated food and water, right? So if the person is going to have the water which consists of a Salmonella typhi bacteria, or he is going to have the food that is having the Salmonella typhi, so then that person can be easily affected by the typhoid. So the mode of transmission is through the contaminated food and water. So for this typhoid, we are having a confirmatory test. So that is called as a Widal test. So that is the Widal test. So usually it is called as a confirmatory test for typhoid. So once the person or the patient has undergone this Widal test, if it proves positive, means he is suffering from typhoid. Suppose it is negative, so then that person is not having a typhoid. So this Widal test is also called as a confirmatory test for the typhoid, right? So there is an incident regarding the Mary Mellon. So she is a lady who is a profession cook, means her profession, or she is professionally a cook. So it is to be believed that for many years, without knowing, she was passing the typhoid through her food, means through her food through which she is preparing. So for many years she used to pass this typhoid fever for many of the people. So she is usually known by the name as a Typhoid Mary. So she is usually known as Typhoid Mary. So this is all regarding the first bacterial disease, that is typhoid, right? So typhoid is a bacterial disease. So it is caused by an organism, or it is caused by a pathogen, that is Salmonella typhi. So the infected organ, so the organ which is infected by the typhoid is the small intestine. What are the symptoms? The person is going to suffer from the high fever, so that is 39 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. So usually he will be having the weakness, headache, stomach pain, constipation and loss of appetite. So in the severe cases, that may lead to the intestinal perforation, so that is going to lead to the death. So what is the mode of transmission? Means how the typhoid is transmitted? Through the contaminated food and water. So the test which can confirm the typhoid is Widal test. So usually it is called as the confirmatory test for the typhoid, and also regarding the Mary-Malin. So now let us study regarding the second bacterial disease, that is pneumonia. So the second bacterial disease is pneumonia. So this pneumonia is caused by a bacteria, that is causative agent is two bacteria. One is Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae. Right? So pneumonia is also a bacterial disease, and it is caused by a causative agent or a pathogen called as a Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae. So these are the two bacteria which are responsible for causing the pneumonia. So what is the main organ that is infected by this pneumonia? So that is infected organ. So the organ which is affected by this pneumonia is a alveoli or lungs. Right? So this pneumonia is going to mainly infect the part that is the alveoli of a lungs. Alveoli are nothing but the small bag-like structures that are present inside the lungs, so through which there is a exchange of the gases takes place. So the main organ which is infected by the pneumonia is a alveoli or lungs. So here usually these alveoli of lungs are usually filled with the air, but when it is infected by this pneumonia, so that are filled with the mucus, so that is going to lead to the difficulty in the breathing or the respiration. So this is the infected organ. So then coming to the symptoms. So what are the symptoms of this pneumonia are? So that is chills, means feeling very cold, then fever, cough and headache. So these are the common symptoms of a person who is suffering from a pneumonia. So that is chills, means like feeling very cold, fever, cough and headache. But in the severe cases, what happens means the tip of the nails as well as the finger, right? The lips, that is the lips and nails. So they are going to turn from grey to bluish, right? So usually the common symptoms of pneumonia are chills, fever, cough and headache. But in the severe cases, means when this pneumonia is high or which is not under control, so then in those persons the lips as well as the nails, so they are going to turn from grey to bluish in color, right? So how this pneumonia is transmitted, that is mode of transmission. So usually the pneumonia is transmitted by inhaling the droplets or aerosols of infected person. Right? So this pneumonia is an infectious disease, right? So how it is transmitted from one person to another person means whenever the infected person is going to sneeze, then if the person who is in front of him, if it inhales, the droplets or the aerosols from the infected person, and that person is also going to get suffer from this pneumonia. So this is how the bacteria from one person is going to get transmitted to the other person, right? So this is regarding the pneumonia. So pneumonia is caused by the two bacteria, that is Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae. So the infected organ is alveoli of lungs. The symptoms are chills, fever, cough and headache, and in the severe cases the lips and nails, they are going to turn from grey to bluish in color. So then coming to the mode of transmission, means how this pneumonia bacteria are going to transfer from one place to another place. So that is by inhaling the droplets or the aerosols of the infected person. So that person is going to get infected by the pneumonia. So not only this typhoid and pneumonia are the only bacterial diseases, the other bacterial diseases are such as the diphtheria, dysentery. So there are other many bacterial diseases, but for our syllabus we are going to learn only two bacterial diseases. The first one is the typhoid and the second comes the pneumonia, right? So now let us see the viral diseases. So viral diseases are nothing but the diseases caused by the viruses are called as a viral disease. So under the viral diseases we are going to study only one viral disease, that is the common cold. So usually every one of us might be suffered from this common cold, right? So this common cold is a viral disease. It is caused by a causative agent called as a rhinoviruses. Causative agent is rhinoviruses, right? So the common cold is caused by a causative agent, that is rhinovirus. So the infected organ, so which is the organ which is infected by this rhinovirus, is a nose and respiratory passage. So it is going to mainly affect the nose and the respiratory passage. So what are the symptoms of this common cold? The symptoms includes the congestion of nose, or you can write it as a nasal congestion and discharge, nasal congestion and discharge, then sore throat, hoarseness, right? Tiredness, headache, and fever, which is going to last for 3 to 7 days, right? So that mode of transmission, so that is also by inhaling the droplets of cough and sneezes, and also by sharing things with the infected person, right? So this is regarding the common cold. So the common cold is mainly caused by a virus which is called as a rhinoviruses, and this rhinoviruses, they are going to mainly affect the organ, that is the nose and the respiratory passage, right? So what are the symptoms of this rhinovirus or the symptoms of common cold, so there is a nasal congestion, means we are going to have the problem during the breathing, then nasal discharge, right, the mucus coming out from the nose, or then the sore throat, right, so there is a itching in the throat, hoarseness, tiredness, you feel very tired during the common cold, so then headache and fever, so these are the usual symptoms, right. So these symptoms, they are going to last for usually 3 to 7 days, even after having the tablets or even after having the treatment. So this common cold is usually going to last for 3 to 7 days. So then what is the mode of transmission? So the mode of transmission for the pneumonia as well as the common cold, they are a little bit similar, that is by inhaling the droplets. Here both of the cough and the sneezes, right? So whenever we are going to inhale the droplets of the cough and the sneezes of the infected person, so then we are also getting infected. Not only that, even by sharing our utensils, by sharing the glasses or sharing our things such as the book, pen, computer or any other devices, so when we share these things with the infected person, so obviously these viruses are going to get passed along with the things that we are going to share. So by sharing the things with the infected person also, we are getting infected by this common cold or by the rhinovirus, right? So that's all for the today's class. In this class, we have discussed regarding the 2 bacterial diseases. One is typhoid and the second one is the pneumonia, and one viral disease, that is the common cold, right? So we are having only one viral disease for this chapter. So there are also other viral diseases such as the AIDS, polio, etc. So there are many other viral diseases, but in our syllabus we are going to discuss only regarding the common cold in this common diseases in humans, right? So in the next class we will be studying the further 5 more diseases. Thank you.